a whole new, arena for me. And I ain't gonna lie, I actually quit. Like after that, I was like, oh, like this ain't gonna work. Like I don't know nobody, can't really get any business, this, that, and the third. I was like, I'm just gonna call it a quit. So my second semester is when I met my best friend, and she was like, oh, you do photography? I was like, I mean, a little bit, but not for real. Like I kind of quit because, I wasn't getting no business. It was like literally to the point where on my Instagram page, I'll literally post, I'm doing free photo shoots. Nobody hit me up, like even for free. Like, and at one point I remember I did like $15. It was like $15, you crazy, like $15 high, da 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 da. I'm just like, dang, like,
Man, it be like that.
that's
Like
what I'm
when you
saying,
doing a
like,
business, like it's crazy when your prices are low or free. You be getting so much back. You be like, damn, I must suck because y'all.
right. No, that literally did it for me. Like when I did free photo shoots and nobody hit me up, I said, oh yeah, you're poo. Like that's it.
All in audio experience.
We already recording, right?
Yeah, it's already.
All right, bet. 1, 2, 3. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the All In Audio Experience, and guess what? We got a very special guest today, man. Trent, where you at?
In Orlando, but today we got Alexis Blue in the building. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Man, I'm doing
Not bad.
excellente. Very excellent, man. I'm excited. So this is a very special one. With me just getting into media, I've been checking out Alexis for a little minute now. You've been going crazy in the streets. You've been going crazy.
Trying to.
So we're going to dive into your media journey a little bit today. Just dive into you. Trent, where you want to start at?
Let's start with your background. So, just give us like where you from, how you got into photography and all that good stuff.
Bet. Okay, so I'm from here. We actually went to high school together.
Senators,
Right, Sparkman SHS. Yeah.
A whole lot of that.
I started photography my senior year in high school. And I always say that photography picked me. I didn't choose photography. So pretty much, I used to see on Instagram this one guy. He used to post pictures like on Instagram with a professional camera. Back then, like that's like had the iPhone like 5 and 6, so the quality really wasn't that good and everything. And I'm just like, dang, like he got some solid quality. Like that's hard. Like,
Okay.
and from there, my sister already had started doing photography because Sparkman has like a photography program and everything. So I just said, let me use your camera. So I like literally grabbed like this old Nikon and was just shooting, just for the fun of it and stuff. And then I started taking pictures of my friends and stuff. And then they were like, oh man, like this is hard. Da, da, da. You need to like try this for real. And so I was like, all right, bet. Like, let me try. So that was like November of 2016. And that's like when I first made the brand. It was called Blue Photo Ops, right?
Okay.
So
A whole lot of that.
that Christmas, my mom got me my first camera, and then from there, I was like, all right, like let's see if we can like you cook something up and everything. So I took my first photo class like that last semester, senior year, and I thought like I was gonna know everything I needed to know like straight from that. And we literally did like black and white film photography. I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Like literally processing the film, printing it out, like actually processing darkroom, all that stuff. I'm just like, bro, like this is not what I needed. But looking back, it actually built the foundation of like shooting in manual and everything. That was the whole point they're trying to teach you. But then I was like, bro, like, So from there, I took a couple of my classmates' graduation photos and stuff like that. And then from there, I went to UA. So that's like a whole new, arena for me. And I ain't gonna lie, I actually quit. Like after that, I was like, oh, like this ain't gonna work. Like I don't know nobody, can't really get any business, this, that, and the third. I was like, I'm just gonna call it a quit. So my second semester is when I met my best friend, and she was like, oh, you do photography? I was like, I mean, a little bit, but not for real. Like I kind of quit because, I wasn't getting no business. It was like literally to the point where on my Instagram page, I'll literally post, I'm doing free photo shoots. Nobody hit me up, like, even for free, like, And at one point, I remember I did like $15. It was like $15, you crazy? Like $15 high. Da 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 da. I'm just like, dang, like
Man, it be like that.
that's what
Like
I'm saying.
when
I'm
you
like,
doing a
very
business,
15.
like it's crazy when your
Dang,
prices are
y'all
low
that
or
broke?
free. You be getting so much back. You be like, damn, I must suck because y'all
Right.
get.
No, that literally did it for me. Like when I did free photo shoots and nobody hit me up, I said, "Oh yeah, you're poo. Like that's it. Not meant to be."
Oh
So
man.
after that, she was like, "Well, my sister need her prom pictures taken. Like, would you come like to my hometown and like take her prom pictures?" And I was like, "All right, sure. I'm really not that good, but I'll try it. Sure." So we go to the hometown and everything. I take the prom pictures and then just tell me like like you're really good. Like you need to like keep up with it and stuff. And she kind of gave me the encouragement of like, okay, let's try this again and everything. So I think somebody from Sparkman, it was their prom pictures, and I took their pictures, and I think after that it kind of clicked. I was like, okay, we let's try this one more time. So I literally like locked in, had the whole website, started the page back up, and just like in my time at UA. I just connected with other people and just I literally did their pictures for free. I was like, okay, whoever has enough like clout and pretty much just have like really good engagement, I'm gonna take their pictures for free, and then maybe that'll get you don't want to take pictures of me, you want to take pictures of me, da 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 da. Then eventually, I started charging like $50, pretty much, and it was pretty solid. I started getting like maybe like one or two bookings and stuff like that, and then while I was at UA, I was like, okay, let's see if we can get like a little photo job. So I remember I applied for my first photo job, didn't get it, got real discouraged again. But going into that end of sophomore year is when I finally got my first photo job at our recreation center, and I was basically shooting like sports and stuff. So from there, and then like I said, just making, just with other people and everything, that like slowly built it up. And I feel what really like jump started it was my senior year, pretty much. I did a graduation sale. And I kid you not, I was booked up the whole like March,
Ah,
April, May, like
I remember this.
yeah,
You
like
was jumping in the streets.
yes, literally. I was
Going
like,
crazy.
whoa, like so crazy. So that's like pretty much everything kind of jump started, and it's been
That's what made me notice you. Like remind me that you was doing it because I just kept seeing you on my timeline doing something, doing something, doing something,
yeah.
doing something. I was like,
No, I was literally everywhere. Like I kid you not, like I was just talking to everybody, just trying to get a connection. I was doing some of everything. Like I do photos for this prep school. Like I still do photos for them now. Like they gave me my first start like in sports. Then after that, I was locked in with two magazine companies at UA. I was their head photo editor. Um, I connected with one of my homeboys now. He got me this opportunity to shoot behind the scenes of this TV show. Like I was just kind of just running and running everywhere, just trying to get any possible opportunity to get my name
for
out there and
sure.
stuff, and just to show like, hey, like let me take your picture, let me be a photographer. So.
I like it. I like it. Were you what were you studying in school? Like,
So I was studying marketing, right?
okay,
I feel like everybody, the whole cliche thing, just major in business if you know what else you want to do.
for
So
sure, for
that's
sure.
literally what I did. And like how UA works, you have to like pick your specialization, like I think sophomore year. So I was like, well, let me go into marketing because I just really don't see myself doing none of this other stuff in all honesty. And then when I had started that first photo job at the rec, I added a minor in photography. So I will say those photography classes at UA definitely like built my foundation, and especially COVID, locked in during COVID for real. I was really up like every night watching YouTube videos, like how I can get better at editing, different angles, like really honing in on shooting in manual. Because a common misconception is like a lot of photographers like they'll try to say they're a photographer and they'll literally shoot in auto, and they won't
Mm.
really shoot in manual, take full control of like their settings and everything. So yeah, that's
She did. She threw a shout out to y'all fake photographers. Low key.
Yeah, some of it was not real, but
no,
She
I'm just letting
said,
like you really want to like lock in, like you gotta learn how to shoot a manual. Like you're setting yourself back and limiting yourself in so many different ways. Like if you don't learn, so just
in other
a
words,
little
y'all
tip.
paper. Y'all ain't real photographers. Oh man.
so you were saying like photography chose you. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, you know what? Actually, I said that wrong. I chose photography. Photography didn't choose me. Um,
Okay.
because I feel like if you have a natural gift for something, I feel like it's not that hard to like lock in on. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to suck like real bad, real bad. And I just feel like I'm just happy photography shows me back pretty much. Like out of the times I wanted to quit and just the times I was getting the results that I didn't want to get and everything. I guess I'm just glad it shows me back. I just feel if you would tell me like high school me like yeah you're gonna be a photographer like you're gonna run your own business, I'll be like you're crazy. Like me taking pictures, like you're crazy. So yeah, I'm just glad photography chose me back in all honesty.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
It
I love
finally started showing love for sure. Everybody's seeing the work. It's good. It's great.
I love that it brought you out your comfort zone so much. So let me tell y'all about Blue a little bit. Blue was so shy in high school. When you were around your friends, you were different. But
No,
like
for sure.
I
I'm still
remember
like that though, for real. I feel like I am, but I feel like I didn't came on my show a little bit more.
for
But
sure, for sure. She got the chain on you, you feel me? She got signed to she got signed to the label, you
you're
feel
right,
me?
my four pockets full of chain. You already
You
know.
already know.
You
Four
already
pockets
know.
full. See, I like you. You already know. But Blue was so shy. Like at least around me, I remember we would be like in the hall. You would if I came up or if I was talking to somebody that was you knew, you would just immediately stop talking and just wait.
No, for real.
And literally just wait for me to go away. I was like, my fault, my fault. I'll hit y'all up later. but
No,
no,
for
but
real.
no, I love that, and I love the branding. Like you really took ownership of like your last name Blue and just made it a whole marketing brand.
Yes.
Like you get that naturally. Is that something like your whole family does, or that's something that you just kind of took on yourself?
Well, no, actually, well, yes. I mean, my sister actually made this for me. Like she does shirts and everything, and
Okay.
she's the one who started her business first. So hers is actually Blues Customs Design. So I just feel like got to use the name like
Okay.
for everything pretty much. So shout out to her. If you ever need some stuff made, like hit her up because she does all my stuff like my very first like set of shirts I literally would get the shirts, bleach them, and then like she would just put my logo on it and stuff like that. I mean,
No, that's dope. So that's a
but
family thing.
yeah, but when it comes to the whole professional thing, I genuinely feel like every business has its own identity and it's kind of like up to you to where how you want that to look like and everything. And I feel like I pride myself big on professionalism because like at the end of the day, I mean, I'm representing myself like more so than anything since I don't have like a whole like corporation and stuff like that. So that also just made me like rebrand too, because like I said, at first it was Blue Photo Ops. I was like, okay, I ain't gonna lie, kind of sound a little ghetto, just a little bit like don't really
Blue
know what I'm
photo.
doing. I was like, I gotta change it a little bit, gotta be more clean cut. So that's why I changed it to BPO, digital media. So BPO still like pays homage to where I started with Blue Photo Ops, no acronym BPO. And then
Okay.
digital media, I just didn't want to put myself in that box of just doing photography. So, I've
I
gotten
like
into
that.
graphic design now, videography. So just trying to just widen my horizons and
For sure.
everything
For
like
sure.
that. So that's why now it's just BPO digital media, but for sure, just BPO. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. As far as like business wise, like are you doing this full time and like if you are, like how did you ultimately decide to just go and run with it, like I'm just gonna do this full out, no like I'm gonna go all in on it.
So yes, I do this full time. This is all I do. Some like anything with photography, graphic design, any of that. Like that's all I do. Honestly, I I guess I decided on to do it full time like once I graduated. I mean, in a sense, I guess I've been doing the same thing literally since like my sophomore year in college. I've literally only worked one 9 to 5 like in my life, and that was the summer of going into my sophomore year because of course like you can't stay you can't stay at school like when you're a freshman because you stay in the dorms, the dorms close. And literally I only got a job because my friend had a job. I was like, well, let me try and make my own money, this, that, and the third. Literally worked at Dollar General, You know,
Hated it.
you're all right, 0 out of 10, would recommend again. I just knew just working that summer, I was like, yeah, I cannot, punch in like that. Can't do that. Or at least has to be, I mean, I'll say this, like anything you do in life, like even if you enjoy it, something you want to do, like I said, you have to enjoy that to even want to get up every day and do it. Because like I said, like, this, like what I do now still be wearing me out, like, and everything, but I love what I do, like, genuinely, like, no matter, like, how many nights I made not sleep, tears, frustration, any of that, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so, yeah, pretty much after graduation is when, I guess for me, I accepted that, like, this is what I do full time. Because I will say, like, in college, I always told myself, like, okay, I'm going to get another job. Don't know what it's going to be, something in the creative field. And from there, I'm going to just do BPO on the side. Like, I always said, this is going to be my side hustle, pretty much. And I just feel like God, like, spoke. I feel like God speaks to me through my business, and I feel like anytime I try to deter from that or just try to do something else, it's kind of reel me back in. Like, no, like this is your calling. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So, yeah.
That's that purpose in you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that. There's sometimes where I be like sitting like, I just got to thank him because it's like, like you literally let me do what I love and make money off of it and support myself. And you just got to be like, you so good, man. Like,
Right.
You really
No,
just
literally.
Because you know so many people that's just like at them. Like I have so many friends that's like always complaining about working at them factories, like punching in that clock. And I'm like, bro, you got to get a skill, bro. Like, you got to get a skill so you can really, first of all, get out of them jobs that'll work you to death. Because you'll be, like, on your feet all day. It'll be your back, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So, no, that's a blessing for real.
No, it is, like, true blessing.
One thing I want to get into, so you went viral. You went, like, stupid viral with my boy, fellow Gamecock, D. Millie.
Yeah, shout out to D. Mill. Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
D.
D.
Mill.
Mill. That's that shooter right there. That's my sharpshooter.
Impeccable.
Impeccable. So just kind of give me the story behind that. For y'all that don't know, this was like a based off the Future cover, right?
Yeah, I Never Liked You.
I Never Liked You. Crazy. So how did that start? How did that come about?
So pretty much, D-Mill is actually the very first person I shot that on my page got over 100 likes. Like when I was very first starting.
Okay.
I was still doing like free work and stuff. And I remember D-Mill was like, "You want me to pay you?" I said, "Nah, bro. Like, I just appreciate you like just letting me shoot you and everything, coming up with concepts and stuff like that." So I think it's like kind of crazy, like him being the first person for me to get 100 likes, and he's the first person I go viral with. So fast forward, of course, now modern day, he was like, "All right, we got to take the grad pics, this, that, and the third." And then he was like, "I want to do the I Never Liked You thing." So at that time, Future had already dropped like what the album cover looked like, right? And a lot of Greeks, like D9, they was already doing their whole, version of like, noops, Qs, this, that, and the third. And then he was like, "I want to do something similar to this. We're just going to, like, switch it up a little bit. So we'll put, grad across the mask instead of noob." I was like, "All right, bet." So I kid you not, I wouldn't do this for nobody else. Because, man, me and D Mill, we was probably shooting from, like, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Because, since he graduated in the spring, the sun don't go down until 7. We had to wait till it got dark outside. So we took, all of his other grad pics, like, during the day. And then we pretty much had to wait until it was nighttime. So, the hardest part was the angle and everything. So, literally, I had one of my mentors, they ended up just popping up out of nowhere, right? And so I had her hold the light, like, within his car and everything. And then I kept on trying to get different angles of, like, okay, like, how are we going to get this exactly like, Future's is? And so from there, like, we just took, like, so many. And then I told him, I was like, "All right." I was like, "You got to pick these pictures tonight. I'm going to edit them tomorrow morning because we have to get this out, like, right after Future." Because, like, Future literally just dropped that Friday or Thursday at midnight. You know how that works and stuff. So I was like, we have to get it out the next day because despite us being first, we got to make sure, like, we got to be the best. Like I'm so I used to play sports and stuff. So, like I'm very competitive when it
I
comes to
feel
stuff
it. I
like
feel
that.
it. I
So it's
like
like we
that.
have to be the best if we're gonna do it. Like come hard, don't come hard at all. So from there, like after he took the picture, he picked and everything, and I was like, okay. The hardest part was gonna get like the whole color grade, like the whole filter of like how futures look. That was gonna be the hardest part. And so I literally had to like lock in, like find some different methods and everything. And from there, we just, edited it, put the little grad on there, and bam. And then, I told him, I was like, you should make a song list, a track list, and everything. And I was like, you should have like your features be like, like shout out to whoever like helped you with whatever, whatever everything was. He was like, bro, like, yeah, let's
Too
do
hard.
that.
Too hard.
So yeah, so then, he told me what to put, typed it up and everything, and bam. And then from there, like it just did numbers. Like I was being funny, say, "Hey, we're gonna go viral." I really didn't think we were actually gonna go viral, and it was like if we can just get the shade room, like it's over with. Like we got watch the yard and stuff like that, but it's like, bro, we can get the shade room,
You
it's
feel me?
over with.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So literally, like a month later, because like we posted it, in April and everything, and I think by May, like the end of May, that's when we went viral. So
D Mill's like the perfect person to do it with too, cause he
no,
got
for
so much
real.
like personality.
Yes, yes. Like it was perfect. And then shout out to his girlfriend too, cause like she bought the exact mask that matched his suit. I mean, couldn't be any more perfect, honestly.
Shout out to Danielle for sure, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a beautiful work. I was like, damn, this one is
One of the ones.
one of the ones. And then I saw you drop some with the Metro Boomin
Yep.
recently too, so that's
Yeah, I was
fire
nervous
too.
about that one too. I ain't gonna lie, like I think after I did the whole future thing, that kind of sparked the thing where like everyone wants to do a graphic now for graduation and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie, they be testing me for they'll be like, bro, can you do this? Can you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. We gonna
We
try.
gonna
We gonna
try it.
try. So yeah, that turned out way better than I thought it was gonna turn out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was very unconfident. I was like, okay, because the flame part, that was gonna throw me off. But it turned out good. So I thought I was gonna do the same
Yeah.
numbers as D Mills, but it didn't. I mean, but I'm proud of it regardless. I put it on TikTok the whole process, and that did some numbers on there. So it's my second most viewed and liked video outside, of course, D Mills. This is like 50K views. I think last time I checked, it was at like 30K, 20K, something like that. So
Isn't it crazy how like you really never know what anything's gonna do? Like
right,
you'll know some stuff. This heat. This the one. You'll come back an hour later. Oh, y'all ain't like it like I thought y'all would.
right, and you'd be like,
And
dang,
then
like
you'll put out something
okay,
that you really ain't think about. Go eat or something. Come home and be like, what?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
and be turned up.
Yeah, so I mean, it's grad season right now. Like, what is the challenge in this like grad season kind of area with you like having so many clients? What's so do you enjoy? What's the part that you enjoy about this season, and also like what's the challenges in this grad season?
What I enjoy is when it's over with. Like, and not like not on no like, dang, I don't want to do it. It's more so like being able to look back and
Keep talking. Keep
you
talking.
really like lock in on, okay, like this looks really good because I can't. I'm not gonna lie, like I literally shoot. I'm literally shooting like 4 to 5 people a day, like all day, like every single day. And then after that, I have to edit on top of that. So I'm literally working from like 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. like every night. And then I'm gonna wake up the next morning, like being ready to go at 10 a.m. again and everything and editing and get everyone's pictures back. Cause I understand, everyone wants to get their stuff back like in time for graduation and everything. So, I don't even really get a chance to like sit back and like realize what I just did, like what I just created, what I just made, and everything like that. I really don't get a chance to actually take that in until grad season is over with. Like just now, like I'm being able to look back and like, okay, yeah, this was hard. Like, oh, I love this one. I love this one. This, that, and the third. The most challenging part definitely is just the how many people I'm shooting like at once and the travel because like I will say I'm actually very shocked like I've been removed from UA for what, 2 years now, and I still get a whole bunch of people from UA like wanting me to come take their pictures and stuff like that. So me having to be on the road and traveling here, traveling to Troy, traveling to Auburn, like just traveling all over, that takes up time that I could be using the editing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just like the amount of people. But like I said, I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I know that God wouldn't put me in this position if I wasn't able to handle it and everything. So yeah, that's definitely the most challenging part. But it's well rewarding in the end. Like I'm probably gonna post a dump either today or tomorrow, just showing like everybody I shot. Cause there's a lot of people I didn't get a chance to post and everything. So
Do you think like you're gonna like venture out into like different forms of like photography? Because you've been doing grad photos for a little while now. Do you think like that's just like my thing? Like I just love that, or is it you think something else is catching your eye?
other things are definitely catching my eye. I'll say grad photos are my thing, but it's like not my number one thing. Like
Okay.
it's not what it's not what I love. Like, oh my gosh, it's grad
Hmm.
season. It's time to take these graphics
I
again. Like,
got
it's
you.
not something I'm getting turned on. It's like, okay, like,
That's my money maker for sure. Like
yeah,
that's
like
my
it's the money
bag.
maker for sure. But it's like that's not what I really like love to do.
Okay.
So I didn't really realize what my true passion of like what I wanted to take pictures of was literally not until I graduated in sports. Like I love
Okay.
sports photography. Like I've made a separate page now just, for sports. Like I want to be able to be a professional like freelance sports photographer. Like and I've gotten a chance to tap into that now. I'm just starting off and it's so weird like starting over technically.
Okay.
Like I'm already built up so much, but then like sports, like okay, I got to start back over. It's a new, audience, new clientele. I've been able to be contracted with a couple of schools in the area to be able to take photos of their sports teams and stuff like that. I've got an opportunity to shoot with the G League team, the Birmingham Squadron. I got a chance to go to the pit. I work with this sports agency now, so we've been able to go to different places and stuff like that. So that's been a cool experience. That's what I love to do. And like during grad season, I honestly didn't get a chance to do that at all. Like for those whole like 2.5 months, straight like grad season, I was kind of doing the same thing every single day. And I was like, okay, I wish I could shoot something else like for my enjoyment. I also love like commercial style of work. That's like my first love. Like either shooting outside with commercial style, even in the studio, just like coming up with a cool like concept. I told myself to try to do that like once a month, but April did it for me. Couldn't do it for April, but I
I
did it for
got you.
January, February, March, and hopefully I can get a concept in this month too. That's like what I truly like love, just like seeing that form of art.
I love sports media too.
Yes,
For
I
life.
love sports media, like seeing that raw emotion and like just having the picture like tell its own story. Like I love it, love it, love
I
it.
love the video side of it more. Like how you feel about the photography side is how I feel about the video side. I love like the edits. I love the cartoons people make now. I love all of it. I love
Yeah.
the photography too. I love how people will take like a photo and then like they'll edit it like and put like some like different. I gotta show you some stuff. I got this one graphic artist who does like different like Kobe edits and he'll do like cartoons. You remember the Kobe when he came in the gym with his pajamas on? He was in the gym like shooting like he had just woke up out the bed. And somebody
Uh-uh.
did like a whole graphic design of it. Like it was too hard. His name's McFly. He's just tough. I'm gonna have to show
Yeah.
you that. But I just love sports media too.
No, I do,
And
and I'm starting to
plus,
get a
y'all
little
both
bit.
athletes.
How would you say?
Oh, my bad. My bad. I was just saying, like, with y'all being athletes, like, this is a beautiful spot, like, y'all gonna
Yeah,
have
no,
that
it is
natural
like
edge.
it really is, and I think that's sports has always been my first love, and I feel like I really didn't know it until now. I mean, like growing up, I actually got into sports very late. Like I did not start playing basketball till third grade. Like I used to dance before that. I was like, okay, like definitely don't want to
Okay.
do that no more.
I'm sorry.
And I remember I was asking all these questions. You want to play like soccer? You want to play softball? I said no. Don't want to be outside. Don't want to run that much. I mean, basketball you do be running and stuff like that, but I mean, it was
He's like,
like,
I wanna
yeah, let me
hoop.
just hoop.
I just wanna
So
hoop. I feel it.
yeah, and I like literally picked up on that and everything, and just like And the crazy thing is, I knew then, like, I was like, definitely don't want to, like, do basketball outside of high school. Like, that's definitely not the goal. Like, I never had to care for that. Like, even since I was young, like, never had to care for that. It's like, I just always knew I wanted to be there. I still wanted to be, like, there in that presence, like, still be close to the team, like, be in the whole atmosphere, like, and I'm just happy I was able to find that whole thing of, okay, like, you taking sports, you still, like, locked in and everything like that, so.
You just want to be close
Yeah.
to the culture for real.
Yes, literally. I just love it. Like it's so many things. It's just so exciting. Like that's why I love the fall. Like that's when everything starts back up and for the sports and everything for real, for real. So I just cannot wait for that.
Hmm. So I want to go back. You was like, you had like some, I guess, partnerships, or you work with a few schools. How did you come about, getting those opportunities? Is that something you had to, you know, get a proposal? Is it just like word of mouth? Somebody connected you? How did you go about getting those opportunities? And if somebody else wanted to do that, what would you advise them to do?
So literally my network. I tell like, up and coming photographers, especially in the sports room all the time, like literally whatever you get your degree in. If you don't go to college, like any of that, it's literally does not matter. It's not about what you know, but who you know. So, for me, at the prep school, the director, she actually knows the head coach of Bob Jones, and then of course the head coach of Sparkman, because they're brothers. So, um, I expressed to her like I really want to get into sports photography, like outside of like shooting for your program, but I just want to be just like be able to lock in like with more team stuff like that. Now that I've graduated, moving back home and everything, and she was like, okay, she was like, I'm gonna connect you with them, and literally just from that, just using her as my network, got called in for an interview, we settled all the details out, and bam from there, and then also the photographer for Sparkman, he does like all of Sparkman's sports, like takes pictures of all of them. I reached out to him, I was like, hey, you may not remember me, you took my pictures when I was a student there, but I would love to sit down and just, get into how can I get involved with these schools, like, and be able to, like, make a living from it and everything. Because I mean, I understand, like, you got to start off free and stuff like that, free work and everything like that. But at a certain point, like, you got to have some bread, some shape or form. So, yeah, he connected me, and I've been able to shadow him, and then. He let me, schools that he wasn't able to do because he's like so locked in with Sparkman. He let me shoot for other high schools and middle schools and stuff like that. So literally, it's about your network. Your network. Your net worth is your network for sure.
It sounds like a lot of conversations. Like you got to really get out your comfort zone and start talking to people and really just like reaching
Yes.
out and putting yourself out there.
Yes,
That
you
was hard
do.
for me. Cause like growing up, I was competitive and stuff playing sports, but like sports, you just show up, you ball, you know what I'm saying? You do your thing. You ain't necessarily have to talk to people to get ahead.
Mm-mm.
But once I got into business, it wasn't like that. Like you can be really good and not be getting any work because like you don't put yourself out there, you're not social.
Exactly.
So that was something that was hard for me. And I know it was that was something that was hard for me and Trent with starting a podcast and stuff was just talking more and like being vulnerable enough to like just put ourselves out there. So that's definitely something that's key.
No, for real.
I thought, even reaching out to Blue, I thought maybe she might, leave me on scene. You know what I'm
I'm
saying? But
crying, bro. She
you just
Hollywood
gotta
now.
shoot.
Not Hollywood.
She Hollywood.
No, like I said, like you DM me, I was like, Lord, I was like, another like podcast, like, man, oh man, like just nervous about these kinds of things and everything. So
I'm so
I'm
weak.
very self conscious, like, so it was like, man, like, can I like really do this? Like, okay, just treat it like an interview, like it'll be straight, but nah, never gonna be Hollywood.
I'm
Can't do
just messing. I'm just messing.
that.
She real cool, yeah. She real cool. Oh man. So
I
I want
don't
to get
think.
into. Oh, go ahead, Trent.
Okay, go ahead.
No, do your
No, go
thing. Do your
ahead. Go
thing.
ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to get into the graphic design side of things. So what was it like getting into that skill set? What was like your first day, what did you do? Did you just hop on YouTube University? Was it like in your curriculum at UA? Like how did you like kind of like just be like, all right, I'm good at photography, but like I need to brush up on this?
So I think I always wanted to do graphic design. I just didn't know where to start because everyone said like, bro, you got to get Photoshop, you got to get Photoshop. But everyone's like, Photoshop's a whole different animal. Like that's a lot to
Yeah.
do. So funny story. My first ever me just trying to do design was like off my phone, right? And I found like this weird like collage app, like, and the app's not even like on the app store no more. That's how old it was, right? And so I literally just used to make like little cutouts. Like I literally just like cut, like I did one of me first. It was like just different pictures of me, just like cut out, and I just kind of placed them everywhere and stuff like that. And then I like went into Visco and like just color graded it, and then I posted it, right? And someone was like, I like that. Can you make me one? I was like, yeah, sure. So did the same. I said, send me some pictures. Like, cut it out. Da da da. And then from there, it just kind of blew up for a minute. It was like the summer, like 2019. Everybody started. It was like, ooh, can you make me one? Can you make me one?
So was it like those collages where like say somebody's a hooper, it'd be a bunch of different pictures of them, and then it'd be like just a collage of like different pictures of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember those. Those were popular for a little second.
Yeah, so
do
like,
remember
and I
those.
was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was only doing like $5 and stuff like that, right? And so then I remember, who was it? John Petty. He had DM'd me. I was like, oh snap! I was like, I gotta do him for the free ski, like,
I feel it.
cause like that's his clout right there. So
Yeah.
I did him, and then it was like this other guy he like played for the South Bay Lakers. Like he wanted me to make one. It was I was starting to get like D1 athletes. Like they're like, can you make me one? Can you make me one? I was like,
sure,
shoot,
for sure.
yeah, for sure. So that started it, right? And then going into school, like I said, that's when I started my first photo class, was like going into that fall semester. And, we started working in Photoshop. And I ain't gonna lie, I was so overwhelmed because I was like, whoa, like this is
That's
different.
like all of Adobe stuff.
Yeah, it's
do
like,
that.
and for the longest, I was only using Lightroom, which I feel like a lot of people who start out, they use Lightroom off rip because it's just easier to use and everything, or they can use like the Lightroom app. So going into Photoshop and like just starting from ground zero and how to like learn how to do it, like that was very difficult for me. And then I think I took that intermediate class like during COVID, and I think that was a blessing in disguise, like me taking that class during COVID, because I was able to like take extra time outside of not having to worry about doing anything else, and like practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing, because that was really hard to do, like as far as cutting them out and like making it more defined and stuff, because I was doing off like a finger at
Okay.
first. So like it wasn't like, it was very sloppy. Like looking back, I was looking at it the other day, I was like, this is really sloppy, but like it's crazy like how far I've come, and just like watching different videos on it, just looking at other people's work and seeing like, okay, can I do that, can I do this, let's try this, let's try that. So
I feel it. I think one thing I learned was that I was using the wrong programs for the wrong stuff until I got a job, and it was like, so like had to make a bunch of flyers, and so I was using Photoshop for everything. It was like, InDesign does all this, and it's a lot simpler.
yeah.
So I think that's one thing to learn is just, I don't know, like if you go get into Adobe, take your time, because Adobe it's a lot. It's a lot.
No, it is. And I mean, like, of course there is YouTube University, but like in all honesty, I'm glad I just learned it in school. I just feel like attention span, like just me to listen to somebody just like show me how to do it, I'm gonna get like don't want to do it anymore. But
I feel like it's a mixture of both, because I've learned all my stuff outside of it. But once I got into like a standard environment where there was like ADA compliance and stuff like that, I realized YouTube University will help you learn fast and like get in the game, but
Yeah.
you won't have the refined like, yo, you can't do that, like, or you won't have the like design eye for like, yo, that's like just flagrantly not okay.
yeah.
They'll be checking me like, bro, you didn't go to design school, did you? I'll be like, nah, I didn't. I did all, because I studied all business classes. I had economics and like,
Who hated economics?
and then once I graduated, I was like, yo, I'm actually gonna go the creative way. So
Yeah, no, that actually, it's funny you said that. Like, kid you not, first photo class, right?
Yeah.
So I'm editing and stuff. Professor said, your picture is too purple. I said, huh? I said, what do you mean? She was like, just look at it. Like, do you see that purple tint like on the picture? And I'm like, I said, kinda. Still don't know what you're saying. You know, like, but then I just learned, like, just from that has also taught me just like, okay, there's so many fine details and just like it makes you look at it differently. Like, wow, I didn't see it that way. And now, like, so I'm glad she kind of like nitpicked at little things like that. It really makes a difference. And the same thing with design, like, you know, having to have the color theory and just like patterns and stuff like that. Like, it's like the little things that I feel YouTube just may not teach you because, you know, our day and age, like, we want to learn something right now, right now, right now. Just tell me what I have to do. Like, you know, forget the details. Like, if I can, like, pass by with that, like, it'll be okay. So.
Yeah, and that's something I'm still learning now because, like, we were just doing it for the sake of, like, posting something and getting something out there and just doing what we had to because we did. And then once you finally get, like, somebody giving you, like, immediate feedback, it can hurt your feelings a little bit, but you got to, like, you know, you got to just, like, take it and listen and then like 5 seconds later, I promise you, once you like make the corrections, you'll be like, oh, that makes sense.
No, for real. Like I said, like, when I was taking those photo class, like any art class at UA, you have to have critique, right? So like at the end of the week or whatever day we have in critique, you have to print your stuff out, put it on the wall, and we all look at it and we have to say like what we like, what we don't like about it. And it's kind of like, I used to feel like a competition too. I was like, they would say like who is the best stuff and everything like that. But in my head, I was like, all right, y'all really didn't say nothing was bad, so mine was the best. But
that's an athlete in you.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, I got critiqued today. I was like, I gotta lock in, like gotta make sure this is good, like you know, gotta show something. So
that's something I've noticed too. It's a little, you kind of feel different being in the creative like space with more artsy kids who have always been like artsy. Have you noticed that like it's a different energy?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like just being in the Huntsville creative space, if I'm around like more of the artsy crowd, you can tell that I feel like there's just a difference. There's just a different attitude because I got more of like a hustler mentality, like, and they have more of a like just expressive, just free flow mentality.
Yeah, like they go with the flow.
Go with the flow, and I'm like, nah, we got to get this shit out now.
Right,
bro. Like, we got to do
literally.
And it's both. It is. I feel like there's good things about both, but definitely I have to take moments to where I'm like, bro, relax. Like it's not that deep. I don't know.
Yeah, I tell myself that all the time. Like I was actually reading something the other day, and it was like, you need to just like live in the present because you once prayed for the position you're in right now. And that really hit me. I was like, dang, because I kid you not, I'm always thinking 5 steps ahead, like, okay, what's next? Like, how can I get here? How can I get that? And it's like, dang, I need to really just like soak in like where I'm at right now, like just at the age I'm at and what I'm doing and like just how much success I've already had. Like, I really need to like just hone in on that and just, you know, just give thanks.
Enjoy
like
that moment for sure.
Yes.
Enjoy that moment for sure.
Let's see. Jordan, do you have any more graphic design questions?
No, not about graphic design. No,
Okay.
I feel like I cut you off when you were about to ask something.
Yeah, you did.
My fault, bro. That's why I told you to go, bro.
I think I was just gonna ask like her creative process when just going through and let's say, well, I mean, you do so many different things. Mm,
What about just in general? Like, what do you like generally? How do you start your creative process like on a daily basis?
yeah.
So this like goes back to the thing where I chose photography, right? Like I feel in a lot of certain things like it does not really click in my head like to the point of like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like I mean, yeah, certain things like come to my head, but 9 out of 10, like I'm literally looking for inspiration like every single time. So like Pinterest, we locked in. Me and Pinterest, we locked in like through and through. So from there, like once I see like something like I truly like, you know, it's like, okay, like how can we create this? Then it also goes into finding the right model. You know, everybody want a model and stuff like that, but there's like that so much goes into that, you know, with that. And I've been able to connect with a lot of people and everything that like I feel like that would have that fit to what I'm looking for. So the person honestly definitely makes the picture as well, and then just looking at the light setup, or if we're outside, but like 9 out of 10, like it's gonna be something in studio. So just looking at that and everything, like how can I create this and everything. It's like some days like it gets real difficult. Like okay, like how is he or she able to create this and everything. So really just like I said, Pinterest. That's like that's my number one thing. And then, like you said, reaching out to mentors, like, I'll tell them like, hey, like, do you know how to create this light setup? Because I'm still kind of confused on this, or stuff like that. So, oh, but oh, sorry, last thing, sorry. I think like how you were saying about the design school, right? I literally took one design class at UA, right? And I'd already started doing graphics and everything, and they did stuff through Illustrator.
Oh, okay.
So I had never used Illustrator before. I said, "Oh my gosh!" I said, "We're not using Photoshop, crazy." And I think it's so different because how they want our design process to be is they want you to sketch it out before you make it.
Oh,
And I could like I to this day still can't get into that.
yeah.
One of my LSs, like she be hounding me all the time, like on design. She'd be like, did you write it out? And I'll be like, bro, no, like I did not draw it out. I'm not going to draw it out. Like
I'm the
I
same way.
refuse
I'm not
to
a
draw
draw
it
it
out.
out type
Like
of
I just
person.
feel like I'm gonna draw it out. Like what's the point? I'm not gonna create it no more. Like I'm creating it twice. Like look, let's say,
I'm
let me
not.
cook. Let me
Yeah,
cook.
let me cook. Like it's not me, and I'm the same way. I'm not a drawer. Like I'm a
Yeah.
writer. Like I like to outline things with my words. Maybe like just like if I have an idea, just write out the words of the idea. But I'm not about to like
Yeah, like even in photo
physically.
class, they'll be like, "Okay, you need to write out your plan. How are you gonna achieve this?" No, bro. Like, let me just make it. I know what I want to
I got
do.
you. I got
I
you
know what
for
I want to
sure.
do. So
And if like so like a lot of our like our cartoons and stuff, like I'll get like a actual like artist to draw it, and I just have to tell them what I want. And
right.
like they gonna bring something back, and I'm just gonna be like, no, nah, that's not what that's not it. But no, I feel that. I feel that. Illustrator was like I tried it for a second. I was like, I was like, nah, I
I
can't.
can't get into it.
I can't get
Like
into
how
it
you were
either.
in InDesign, couldn't get into that either. Like when I was working for the magazines, like we would lay out our whole magazine in InDesign. And I remember one time they wanted me to help with layout. I said,
For real,
get somebody else to do it,
I
not
feel it.
me.
I feel it.
Like that's why I feel there's two types of designs in that sense. Like, okay, you making flyers and just like laying stuff out. I feel like that is so different than you just making like a sports graphic, for example. Like, I mean, in a sense, yeah, like you still have to lay it out, but it's just I feel like that's my weak suit. Like a whole like an event flyer. Do not get me to make an event
I'm
flyer.
so
Like I'm
weak.
not.
That's slight to me, but like I feel what you're saying. That and that's why earlier I was talking about media runs so deep because like my first love was probably writing, but then once
Mhm.
I got out of college and I was like I want to get in creative stuff, it was video,
Yeah.
not photography.
Yeah.
I only did photography because I got a job and they kept asking me to take pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm not a photographer.
Yeah.
So I started doing photography stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. Everything's different. Lighting's different. Photographers be talking about ISO and aperture and all this stuff. You don't do that in videography. Like videography, you're more worried about the angles. The lighting is kind of like it's a little brighter.
Yeah.
It's just totally different. And the same thing goes for graphic design. Like you're worried about totally different things from making a flyer to making like a graphic for like cover art. It's
No,
just
for real. That
it's
and I feel
just
like and I hate that people they just like they just think it's one umbrella.
it's
They gonna think we can just do
it's
everything. Just
not.
offer it like, oh, can you do video too? Can you do this? And I'm like, bro, no, like that's not my
No,
special. Like
it's
we're not. This is not
not.
just one umbrella we fall under. And that
It's
like
not.
and that just goes with like even businesses. They'll only hire one person over the whole thing creative.
Bro.
They're like, all right, you supposed to do video, graphics, website, all of that, photography, like
And what's
everything.
crazy is it didn't used to be like that. Like back, I feel like in certain aspects it was, but like you could be like $1 million like graphic designer who just did like covers for like people. Like you were just an artist and you just did covers for people's like magazines and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like your whole thing was editing magazines, making the cover look good. Like you did Vibe magazine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your whole job could just be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You were not also doing like 16 other things, and
Right.
it's a lot. I'm like, we over here complaining, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Just trying to
That's
educate.
real.
That's
We're just trying to
all.
educate you.
Right,
This is not how
like
this shit work.
if you have if you need a creative on your team, just hire multiple people. That's it.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
the
the
tweet.
goal is to create a creative team that has more like one or two people just for
Yes.
solely for that thing. But
Yes.
Yeah.
in due
You
time.
gotta
Right.
In due
delegate. You
time.
gotta
Right.
delegate.
They'll wake up soon.
In due time.
Yeah, one day.
Gotta delegate the task, man. It don't make no sense. You can't do it all. So,
For sure. For sure.
Stu, I think so. Blue, I was talking to you, messaging you. I was like, your style, though. Where do you get this style, that you have is unique. You can go streetwear, you can go more feminine. Like, where do you get this from?
Like I said, me and Pinterest, we locked in.
I'm crying,
You like
man.
But
it?
no, for real, like I said, like if you knew me back in high school, boy oh boy oh boy, the style didn't change. Like we done in a whole like 360. Like um, I used to like honestly like I used to feel I wasn't I wasn't like pretty enough to be able to like dress like feminine, right? Like I literally wanted to. I just feel like okay, maybe that's just like that's not me, right? So I used to dress like very, very, very tomboyish, like all the time. I literally used to wear like two shirts, right? If you know, you know, right? So I used to wear like one shirt and wear a long tee underneath. Like it was a whole like just oversized like type style and everything. Like never, not really a fan of wearing the dresses and stuff like that. And then going into college, I remember like I was trying to find like a new style because I mean I was still kind of dressing the same I was in like in high school. It was kind of I was be like, oh yeah, bro, you clean, this, that, and the third, da 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 da. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, you pretty. Like I just love that. Every now and then, but that just kind of never happened. I guess not looking back, like that's how I dressed and everything, right? So I remember like just when I first got to college, like I used to get real criticized, like, bro, you need to stop, dressing like a guy, this, that, and the third, people gonna think differently, da 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 da. And I was like, bro, like, dang, like, that's not what I'm trying to portray, but it's just kind of like, that's just what I put on. And so, best friend, she got me right. She was like, let's just try to like ease you into like finding a style. So literally from there, like I said, me and Pinterest, we locked in. So I just started piecing together like what I wanted my style to look like and just being able to like to switch it up. She kind of gave me the confidence. Was like, bro, like like you pretty, bro, like you can switch it up, like and everything. Like we just gotta find like what you like and stuff like that. And so just from there, like I said, she kind of helped piecemeal everything together, and this is where we are now. So
I love to see it. 'Cause
yeah.
I can see it really helped you come out your shell more. And
No,
just,
it did. It gave me more confidence, like for sure. Like, I remember like I used to never like want to wear makeup or anything either. Like, shout out to my stylist.
got a stylist, Hollywood.
Yeah,
Hollywood. I
like,
told y'all she Hollywood.
she do my hair, makeup every time. Like anytime y'all see like a fit on the page, she's doing it every time. Shout out T May Beauty. That's my dog. Shout out to her.
Yeah,
So.
we got to put that up here.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. All right, so you get into college, you got your style going, the business starts turning up. You graduate, like was there any like more pressure you put on yourself once you graduated to like sustain yourself? Like how did you feel when you graduated and you had a business and like you wanted to make it successful?
Oh, for sure. I feel like I definitely put way more pressure on myself than I need to. Like I said, I'm always thinking ahead, like, okay, I'm still not good enough type of deal. So, after graduation, I was kind of scrambling a little bit. And I feel that's like for anybody though. Like as soon as you graduate college, like, unless like you for sure whatever you want to do in college, you knew you wanted to do that like after, like you already had the plan set, but 9 out of 10, like people really don't know what they want to do like after graduation,
Facts.
you know. So I didn't realize I really wanted to do sports literally until like that last semester. So it's kind of like, well, shoot, girl, like your portfolio ain't good enough.
How did you not know you wanted to do sports, bro? Like that's
No, because okay, look. So the whole prep school thing happened when I very first like picked up the camera again, like type for a deal, right? And I really knew what I was doing, and I was shooting football. I didn't know a lick about football.
I'm so weak.
So I'm over here like taking pictures. I was like, dang, like first down, I was like,
Great home run.
Not too much. I wasn't that bad, but like, okay, basketball, right?
Yeah.
I can shoot basketball because I know like what they about to do. Like
know
I
the
can
flow
watch
of
the
the
ball. I
game.
know the flow of the game. I know
Okay,
you're gonna
okay.
shoot, you're gonna pass, da da da.
Got you.
Football, can't tell you a play. I
Got
play
you. That
Madden.
makes
Play
sense.
Madden. but I
It's
don't know
not
the
the same
plays.
as like
I don't know what the quarterback is about to do. I know we're about to do a handoff, play action,
it's different for
slant.
sure. It's different for
Yeah,
sure.
and
Like you,
so
yeah.
I also didn't have the right lens equipment for that, shooting because you have to be on the sideline type of deal,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's what I want to get into too.
Yeah, so I shot it a couple times. I was like, okay, this is kind of boring. Like, and I think it's because I did not know the game of football, right? I actually love the game of football now. Like, I truly enjoy it.
Okay,
But
okay.
I think back then, it's just because I didn't know the game like at all. And then by the time we got to basketball, I mean, I was excited for that, but it still wasn't like. And I think part of me was just kind of denying like how much I loved it at the same time. Like, I don't know. It's just more and more. It just kind of clicked. I was like, okay, I like doing this. Like, I like shooting. Like, I like shooting sports, but I like also marketing it at the same time. Like, okay, you know how like sports have like their media days and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Up against the backdrop, something creative. That's like when it clicked. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know there's like this side of sports outside of shooting action shots. And that really got it like clicked. Like that really clicked it for me. I was like, okay,
Okay, I
that's what I
got
want to
you.
do. Like outside of just like shooting on the field and stuff like that. But I want to be able to control the media days. So I've been able to do that too now. Like even with the high schools, like being able to give them a college media day experience. So that's
So
been
you're like a big fan of like maybe like some of the stuff LeBron does with like the barbershop
yeah,
and stuff like that. Like just having like different avenues for them to speak like outside of.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
it. I like it. So
Well, on
go
that
ahead, Trent.
football tip, half of us don't know. If you on the field, you don't know what's about to happen. So you good.
I'm so weak.
Yeah,
It
I
is what it
literally don't know
is.
what's about to happen. So I'm just like, man, oh man, like, and I'll just feel, I'll be hard on myself. Like, is this even a good shot? Like, I don't really know what I'm looking for. Like, I had to find the art within it because for a while I didn't really even know the art of my own work. Like I said, until like I got into school and us critiquing like showed us like just different forms of art. Like, it made me look at everything differently now, and it truly unlocked my mind of like, okay, this is a good picture because these properties that they possess like within each picture and stuff like that, and that truly unlocked me, okay, like what I see through this picture, what story it tells to me, and hopefully what it tells to other people.
Yeah, I feel like what you said though, like you couldn't understand the moment. It sounds like so like if it were basketball and you were covering like a Warriors game, like the Warriors are down 6 at half, but the third quarter's coming. Everybody who watches basketball knows that's when they start cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like you see Steph hit a three like the start of the third quarter, like hey, get your camera ready, like he about to start cooking.
Right.
Like if he's coming off a couple screens, he's probably gonna get that ball at some point type
Right.
stuff. So
And I feel that's a big thing with sports, like, and I'm still learning myself, like, not being stuck on shooting the same pattern of how I shoot, right? So like when I first started, of course, you always gonna get the person dribbling. Like, they always tell
yeah,
you like that's the whoever has the ball, that's gonna be your center of attention, like no
yeah.
matter what. And just
I don't like
also
that, but continue.
also finding no, I don't like it either now, like but also finding the right angle too. Like I do know like a fact of when you're shooting sports, you always want to shoot below them to make them look larger than life, make them look powerful,
Yeah.
right? And and now I'm just learning like, okay, let's get people boxing out. Let's get the fans reaction. Let's get people on the sidelines
Thank
cheering.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you.
just get multiple things. And it's like the part that I have to live with is I'm not always gonna get the shot.
Okay.
I can only shoot like one at a
Yeah.
time. So it's like, let's say someone hit a big three. It's either like, am I gonna get the reaction of the person in the three? Am I gonna get the bench's reaction? Am I
Yeah.
gonna get the teammates? Like, what am I gonna get? It's kind of like a
For
risk you
sure.
gotta take.
For sure. Like my thing about I have a pet peeve with basketball. We focus so much on scoring, like, and I mean this in all aspects. Like being in the rec, my if you want to not like be on my team, bruh, do not be the dude who shoots 17 times but can't bring that energy on defense.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, but not even more than that. For like, if I'm hooping with young kids, I really be like, bro, you will go so much further. Like, if you learn how to like pass, like rebound, box. If you actually love playing basketball and not just love scoring, bro, like, there's so many cool things about basketball that doesn't deal with just scoring.
right.
But I digress. That's not the
Like
conversation.
everybody wants to be the quarterback. Like growing up,
For
everybody
sure.
want to be the quarterback. Not
And that's
everybody's
the
going
thing.
to be
Like
the
even
quarterback.
yeah, even with football, like everybody gonna shoot the quarterback. Like head honcho, everyone's gonna shoot him first.
For
So
sure. And there's a bunch of cool like you could catch some cool ass passes like on the court. Like it's not always the person that scored. Like the fire pat play might have been the person who like dimed them, not even the person who made the bucket. But you know,
No, for real.
I'm a point
What is
guard,
it? You just
so
have to chill out. You just gotta like open up your mind to like there's different aspects of it. You just have to see it. You have to look through it with a different eye.
for
Like
sure, for
where you can
sure.
see it like the sweat, off somebody's face, like a side profile, like that's gonna tell a
She went
story
deep with
too.
it for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, Jordan, you got any more questions? I know we need to. I want to make sure that she goes down the list of like what you do, what are your services, so that we can
okay,
highlight
for sure.
that in a real like. Give us what are the services that you provide.
So I provide photography, and within that umbrella, you have sports photography, your commercial, your portrait work. I do event photography. Um, those are like the main styles I pretty much do. I've done weddings, but I'm not a big fan of them because you have to go through so many pictures and a lot of them have to be retouched and stuff like that. So I'm not really the big wedding photographer unless like,
The bag.
yeah, like I don't do like newborns and stuff like that. My age range really and truly is pretty much probably 18 to like like early 30s. I guess whatever my age range
So
is.
you don't do like high school like Coopers and stuff like that?
No, I do. I guess what
Okay.
let me say like 13 because like I do like middle school and high school work and everything. I've just now started getting into videography. It's more so on the marketing advertising range. I'm still trying to figure out what my style is. Same thing for sports videography. Like you were saying, I have the sports edits. Like I like to do the edits where it's like how like the tweet like over it. I do
Okay, I
those.
got you.
I love those a lot. I it's like it's crazy. So my photo teacher told me like a while back, like when we had to do our final critique project, right? And we had to have like multiple pictures up on the wall, and she was like, "Your work can like you could have each one of these pictures stand by itself. It doesn't have to be involved in a set." And so her like saying that made me realize how I do video. Like when I shoot like video clips, like it can literally just stand within itself. It doesn't have to be like a whole video. So that's
Okay,
like how that whole like tweet thing kind of like goes like
I got you.
perfectly and stuff like that.
Almost like you capture moments more than you capture like
Right.
movies.
No, literally, like that
Okay,
glimpse, little moment, like how you
okay,
was just looking that way, you was like talking, you just get a little pan shot
I
right
got
there,
you.
and you can put a little tweet over it.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
And then I do graphic design, so really only like sports design and maybe like the little creative designs, like album covers and stuff like that. Don't ask me for the event flyer stuff. That's not my forte. But yeah, those are my main services. Oh, also like branding photography and design. Like I do branding photography, design, and videography as well.
If you see it on her page, she does it. Don't look at her page and then ask her for something left.
Yeah, please don't. Like if you don't see it on there, I probably don't do it. I promise you.
Got you, got you. All right, Jordan, what you got?
Um, I just wanted. Can you give them a little bit into just like that lighting, ISO, aperture, some just little basic. What's like your five basic things? Like I got a little homie he's trying to get into photography. What's the like five things you want him to start out with focusing on before he gets into photography to like
Okay.
help him make some decent photos, take some
You have
decent.
to learn how to shoot in manual. You
Okay.
have to shoot in manual. Because if it's not like a perfect day outside, if it's not like cloudy outside, like auto is not gonna do you justice at all. So I
Okay.
call it the exposure triangle. So you have your aperture, your shutter speed, and your ISO. They all work together on a string. So I say like him locking in with that, and then compositional strategies. There are 7 different excuse me, there's 7 different compositional strategies that will help your Sorry,
You
Lord.
good? You
There,
good? Take your time. Take your time.
there, there are 7 different compositional strategies that will help your picture look like better compositionally. So,
Okay.
a couple of them are, of course, the most basic ones. Your rule of thirds.
Okay.
If you imagine like your picture on a grid, if your picture meets like within one of those crosshairs, like the point of focus, it will just kind of make it stand out more so in a sense, like depending on what you're really trying to achieve.
Don't put it in the middle of the photo, basically.
Yeah. Then you also have like patterns. You have repeating lines. You have like diagonal lines. Like it is like the littlest things that you'll see. Like it could be. I took this picture of this one girl and she was holding a mirror and behind her was like this building that had like windows. But it was a repeating pattern because you saw multiple different squares. You see how all these lines are connecting. And then also like having lines in the background like connected to the point of emphasis of her.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just little things like that. There's more strategy stuff like that. I actually have a ebook.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's called Back to the Basics. It literally
Okay.
teaches you all the foundations that you need to know that I literally learned from UA.
She doing numbers.
Yeah,
Hey.
so yeah, you can go to the shop. I even got one for Photoshop, just to get you started, how to run your photography business, creative business. I got it all, like how to retouch, like all of that. So, check out the
Ooh,
ebook.
Check out the ebook. Very healthy.
Yeah.
Good
look at
job,
her.
Alexis. Yes, sir. Hey.
Hollywood, like you said,
You
Hollywood.
feel me? All right. So y'all just got some gems. Y'all got a whole lot of that. Man, we thank you for coming. This was
No,
fire.
thank you for
It's
having
too
me. I
fire. It's
feel
too
honored.
fire.
Like, you've been wanting me on the
For
podcast. Like, I feel so
sure. You doing
honored.
numbers in this
Like,
got to, man. You
yes.
from Huntsville holding it down
Yeah,
for sure. You feel
256.
me? Whole lot of that.
Mhm.
Trent, anything else before we get out of here? Don't forget to like, share, and comment.
Yep. Also, give your website, Instagram, all your platforms, so we can make sure everybody knows.
Bet. So you can follow me on all socials at BPO Digital Media. If you're a sports, woman in sports, man in sports, you can head over to my sports page. It's BPO Sports. If you want to see the drip, little fashion, anything like that, you can get to the main page. It's Made in Blue with 2 E's. Check out our website, www.bpodigitalmedia.com.
Whole lot of that.
Yeah.
That's all in audio. We
That's
got
it.
Blue here with us. All in, all out.
All in audio experience.